What's good, YouTube? This your man Spill Dog. I think at the end of the day, with this situation with DJ and EJ, I think the only thing I could say that the one positive that could come from this is I think they both in a better position than they were when they met each other. Meaning, Earl definitely learned a lot from Derek James training him, and it, you know, that along with his natural ability and work ethic and will to win has made him pretty successful. And regards to how this play out with the two of them, Derrick James got a bunch of fighters that's making real money that he training now, and he probably wouldn't have these if it wasn't for his association with Earl. So he'll be able to go on and support his family and make big money. And if he had a handshake deal, from what I'm hearing, or something like that, he know better than to make that mistake again and take care of business the right way, get everything in right. Then you don't have no misunderstandings. And and they go their separate ways. It's sad that money tore them apart like this, but I'm sorry, man. From this is just my own opinion, and I don't see nothing changing my mind in this respect. You wait to the biggest fight of the boy career to take on your heaviest workload. As far as he was training AJ, Mel, Frank, and Earl at the exact same time. When you done already said a year earlier, you really haven't paid any attention to Crawford like that. You don't watch his fights, and you wasn't gonna prepare for him until y'all got something on paper. You can, and when people sit up here and act like that shit don't play a part in this, you got to be crazy. Because the biggest advantage I felt like Crawford had in this fight against Earl Spence was Spence have made certain mistakes over and over in his boxing career, and Crawford and Bo Mack obviously been paying close attention, and they capitalized every single time he overreached or threw a punch and was off balance. Crawford was waiting and prepared for all of that. That come from film study and preparation and training camp. That was not the case on the other end of the ring, and it was obvious. I ain't gonna say this no more. Go look at the media workout. Besides the fact that the chemistry was all fucked up. Don't y'all remember Earl was standing in the ring and they had to holler to get Derrick James because he's sitting over there giving an interview because he done fell in love with them cameras from that time he got that trainer of the year. And anybody that's saying that they didn't see that shit go to his head is only because you probably just don't like Spence for whatever reason or glad he lost that fight. I'm not saying I, I just this was the worst job. It looked to me like Derrick James done as far as training Earl, Frank, or Mel, and now you want the most money. I ain't gonna be able to give it to you. If this ain't in writing, and I go out there and get my ass whooped like that, sorry, I ain't gonna be able to do it. And you call me what you want. But you can't sit up here and tell me a guy that got a job uh, you really wasn't used to training nobody but Earl, and then he took Mel on, and then he took Frank Martin on. But as long as they wasn't all fighting at the same time, that's not an issue. Earl was your bread and butter, is the guy who got you in the public eye. While if I'm Earl, I would not even allow him to be training these dudes, and I got a fight on deck. I'm serious. I wouldn't have been able to work with him like that, and you can't tell me that he gave the same that he put the same work he had been putting in most of the years they was together in this training camp for Crawford. You can't say it because it ain't even possible with him training five motherfucking fighters. And he said out his own mouth, he had them all coming in at little hour and a half or 2 hour slots. Fuck out of here. And you want a couple of $1 million for so you can split my train up with 4, 5 more motherfuckers. You might be tired by the time you get to me, man. And this is go for any type of job or work. When you overworked, then you gonna stuff that you know you would have ordinarily took time to correct. You ain't got time to correct it, so you gonna act like you didn't see it, or you gonna act like it's okay. Ain't nowhere in the hell he gave that boy his best. His best in that training camp. He couldn't have. He was fucking with too many people at the same time. The chemistry was terrible with them on the mist. The damn thing falling off. All this shit. He got to call you into the ring for y'all to work on his media workout because you talking yourself up over there on the sideline, bragging about your. Hey man, you know, let's be real with this shit out here. And not be taking this shit personal. Just there's no way he could have done his best under the did his best training under the circumstances. And from what I hear, he didn't have hired no help for him with these other fighters. So you just gonna do it all, you Superman. And this ain't amateur boxing. This is professional fighting at the highest level. That was for undisputed welterweight champion of the world, the best pound for pound fighter in boxing. That's what Crawford was considered at the time. Earl was considered the best welterweight. Bud was considered the best fighter, pound for pound. That ain't even not. This ain't even up for debate. That's what was said. So, uh, who got power? Who was undefeated? Who have not lost a fight in the professionals? So, uh, you don't think this man deserve y'all undivided attention? And definitely the trainer. Come on, man. This is a guy y'all should have been preparing for years. Now, some of this is on Earl too. I'm not totally uh taking his partners out, but he can't. But if my coach got 5, 6 more motherfuckers, ain't no way. What Earl was supposed to do about? Well, he should have straightened it before it got to that point. But I just don't see how people can even think that he got Derrick James best in that training camp when he needed him the most was when he probably was the least into the fight. Because you got all these other fights. Remember, Frank fought 2 weeks before Earl. Looked terrible. I said it. I said I was concerned with the fight after I watched Frank Martin fight because I was concerned with his workload. Frank Martin had that fight look terrible. And I said, I made a video about it. I said, man, this might not be good news for Earl and Mel because Frank looked like shit in there. And he trying to train all these fighters at the same time by himself. He fucked all of them. All of them looked bad last year. Frank just was given a gift. Had it been a real name on the other end of that ring with Frank and Frank not been the headliner for PBC that night, Frank Martin lose that fight. That's my homie. And I'm just being honest. I was real disappointed what I saw in that fight. Hell, I had bet that he was gonna knock the dude out. Uh, so from where I'm sitting at, no, out of all the fights, I know you ain't bitching about that one. You picked the wrong fight to want to be riffing about money about. I'm just gonna keep it a buck, real shit. You know, and that's why I say, man, it'd be different if the circumstances was different, and you could see what more of it was on Earl end, but the trainer ain't had no. I mean, just shit, man. I mean, just think about it. You got AJ, Earl, Frank, Mel, all them fight within a couple of weeks apart of each other. So you training everybody at the same time, and you really think they got his best? None of them did. None of them did. They all suffered last year behind that. Frank just was the only one that came out without a mark on him. But everybody else came out with an L. Frank looked up because of the situation. But you know, And I will say this. After him looking like he did the last time I seen Derek working with Frank, I could tell. Now I see why he's so focused. He know damn well he got to. It's all on Frank now. So and they dialed in like him and Earl once used to be when I seen them working together. But now I see why he busting his ass. Now he got something to prove again. You know, but shit, he let Spence down in that Crawford fight. Don't get me wrong. I ain't saying that Earl didn't go out there and lose the fight, but I'm going out there saying they had no fight plan worth of shit, and I ain't the only one said it. Antonio Tarver and James Toney said it right after the fight. They went off. James Toney said he sent that man out there on some bullshit. The man was not ready. Derek James didn't have a Terrence Crawford specific fight plan. He just had him ready to fight. Terrence Crawford came in there with a plan and executed it because they was waiting on this big fight. And they treated it like what it was. Like I say, Earl got his own fault in this too, but the trainer did not do his job like he was supposed to. I don't see how he could have under the circumstances. You ain't gonna be able to make me see this no other way different. I could, AJ, Mel, Frank, and Earl, you trained them all at the same, and then took on Ryan Garcia, and you fucking around with him a little bit too. Plus, you got a job. Shit, it ain't but 24 hours in a day. That's it. And motherfucker got to go to sleep. So how much time? When you gonna look at the film if you in the gym all day? Come on, man. Sent that man out there half-ass in the biggest fight of his career. I just think they didn't. Both of them didn't give Crawford the respect he deserved, but the trainer don't need to be going out like that. That's what you got a trainer in the corner for, to keep everything in line. And he didn't do his job because he was trying to worry about half the boxing community at one time, and going out there getting awards, going to award ceremonies for this trainer of the year. Derek James' hands was full of the motherfucker for him to be training for that big fight. Too much was going on. So uh, anybody that think that ain't got nothing to do with something to do with the outcome, it's just because you don't want to. But that's it for me on this video. If you like the video, like or subscribe. To the next time, it's your boy Spiel Dog. I'm out.